Hello, everybody. Welcome to CTT, Chasing the Truth. And I'd like to thank y'all for checking out my videos and leaving likes, comments, and shares. I need you to share this all with everybody. Please join my podcast each and every week to catch new videos and stay updated. I know that it's been all about football right now. I'm trying to get updated with baseball, but there's not much to talk about. But that's what today's video is going to be about, how the MLB season's looking like now. And frankly, I'm pissed because we might not have an MLB season this year. And as far as sports go, we might not have any seasons at the rate that it's going with the coronavirus. I know that there's been NFL players that have tested positive for it. There's been MLB players that just now tested positive for it. And the NBA is supposed to start back up in July. That's what baseball was looking at too. They were looking at a startup date on July 18th to start the MLB season. But with that, they have had a back and forth with Tony Clark, who is the MLB PA player president that is negotiating with Rob Manfred, and the commissioner of the MLB. And with Rob Manfred, they've gone back and forth with their counter proposals. Now, the problem that we've been having is a lot of MLB owners wanted to cut the player's salary in half with this way that the season's going. And a lot of players were upset about that. They didn't want to play if they had to have their salaries cut in half, because some of them that don't make that much are not going to be making that much to begin with. And the reason why is because the owner said that they'd be losing out on a lot of money. Well, frankly, some of these owners can afford to lose a couple $100 million or a few million here and there. You know, they're owning an MLB franchise, for crying out loud. And they bought the franchise for billions of dollars. They should be billionaires at this point. And a couple $100 million to them isn't that much. I know it's all about making money rather than losing money, but if you can't afford to lose a couple $100 million, then you shouldn't be owning an MLB franchise. You shouldn't be owning any sports franchise for that matter. I know that there's some owners out there that have more money than the others, like the Detroit Tigers owner who owns the Detroit Red Wings, and he owns a few Little Caesars franchises. So he's got money to spare. It's not all about that. But the rules and stuff that they wanted to put in place with these players is a little ridiculous. Like, I know that Rob Manfred, the commissioner, had a proposal to where he wanted, and owners wanted this as well. They wanted the players to have no fans in the stands, and they wanted the players to sit in the stands, not that far away from the field, and sit apart from one another, and to be able to have like a microphone on them and then get called down to the field when it's their turn to bat. Frankly, I'm pissed about that because I think that'd be stupid. That'd be really stupid to do and really stupid to watch on TV. Now, for me, I like watching baseball on TV, and I'm a big baseball fan. It's my favorite sport. And to be honest, at this point, I hate to really say it, but I'd rather not have an MLB season than to see the stupid stuff that they're trying to do. Now, I know that for the latest proposal that they've had, they've wanted to have extensive health and screening for all players and team personnel. That's not stupid. They wanted larger rosters to expand from like 25 to like 30 or 35 players, which I kind of feel like that would be good if they had the since they're having the shorter season. They wanted the universal designated hitter. That part's good, but they wanted to reduce the travel and leave it in their division, or like their conference or their division. So what they mean by that is if the AL West, they would play the NL West and like teams in their division, and vice versa. So like the AL Central would play like teams in their area, and then they'd also play the teams in their division. The players also wanted more games. What Rob Manfred had proposed is he wanted to do a 70-game schedule, but he wanted the players to cut back on their salaries, and that's why these sides have been going back and forth. Then the owners finally agreed to pay their salaries, but back in March, but the players filed grievances, and ultimately they came down to agreements and everything, or at least we thought they did. But then looking back at it now, the players wanted more games. They wanted to play like 80 or 90 games. And at the rate that that's going, Rob Manfred had to reject that proposal because they couldn't have 80 or 90 games and be able to do everything that they wanted to do, because Manfred still wanted to have the season end in September and have the playoffs start in October. So what it was is you had Tony Clark get a proposal from Rob Manfred doing the 70 games, having players cut back on their salaries, following these issues and all the guidelines and everything, and they looked it over and they did not like the proposal that he was doing. So the players counteracted with the proposal, saying that they wanted more games. Well, he gets that, rejects it, and then the players get one back saying that they have a 60-game proposal. The players would get their full salaries, and they said no, they wanted to play more than 60 games, so they agreed on the 70, and they agreed to get their full salary paid, but they haven't been able to compromise and get a deal worked out. Now, as far as that goes with the expectations, they wanted to be able to have the season start on July 18th and then be able to play their games. Now, the way that they would do this, they would probably do double headers each day, or they would probably cut out the breaks that they would have to travel and then reduce it to where they'd play teams in their division and teams that are like near their conference. Like I said, with the AL West would play the NL West, or like teams in their areas. And that would cut down on the travel time, and they wouldn't have to take like the days off to be able to travel. Now, I think having a doubleheader is a good idea, but it's also stupid at the same time, because if they did allow fans in the stands and allowed fans to come in there, fans would not want to be able to sit there all day long, each day, like every day, to watch them. Like, I know that there's sometimes that they do that, you know, and fans do come in to watch, but like not all fans would want to come in there and watch every single day a doubleheader going back to back. It's kind of, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but then again, I'm not going to every game and watching it, and I'm just watching it on TV. Now, another thing about it is that it's super sad that we're probably not going to have it, because like I said, they've had players test positive for coronavirus, and they might shut down the season period, because they wanted to start in July, and if this happens, it might not be able to. And as far as football goes, they might have a delay to their season as well, but they're still going to have it. But baseball is kind of that sport that it's that summer sport. Like, you may not like it on TV, but you go to watch it with your dad or your mom and stuff. And, you know, kids like to go see it during the summer at the start of it, because it's just a great summer activity to do. Now, for me, I like watching it all year long. But as far as we have it with the way that they want to do the teams, they wanted to expand the playoffs to 16 teams. Now, I think that is a stupid idea, because expanding it to 16 teams really takes the fun out of like the competition for the World Series and competition to compete, to be able to, you know, see who's the best and come down to it. Because if you have 16 teams, there's 30 teams in the MLB, and you already have half of them in the playoffs. Like, that shouldn't work. I don't care if you've got a shorter season. I don't care if you're playing 70 games, if you're playing 60 games, or if you're playing 182 games. You should never have 16 teams in the playoffs. That's like having the NFL like, oh, we're going to have, you know, half of the teams in the playoff, or half of them as well. Scratch that. It'd be a little over half since it's 16. But like, that'd be like the NFL saying like, oh, we need 16 teams in the playoffs. And they'd be like, why? What's the point? Because that means a team that has probably like a 6-8 record can still make the playoffs, and you wouldn't want to see a 6-8 team, or I mean, a 6-10 team. I'm a little tired. A 6-10 team, you wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs. At the end of the day, it'd be stupid, because like, why put a 6-10 team that can't compete in the playoffs? No. 16-team playoff is a stupid idea. But what they wanted to do is, the ideas that have been going back and forth is, they wanted to have the opening day on anywhere from July 15th to July 20th. They wanted to have full salaries paid to the players, which they've agreed on that. A 16-team playoff format for 20 and 21, which I don't know what that meant, but I did some research and brought some stuff, so I'm just reading off what they've like gone back and forth trying to agree on. They wanted a universal DH, geographic schedule. Both sides agreed that there's going to be no grievances and play between 60 to 70 games and have the regular season end on September 27th and have the World Series start in October like they wanted to. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this and how they're going to work it out. I hope Tony Clark and Rob Manfred can get this going. But as far as the MLB season, I think it's kind of a bust at this point. I'd say let's scrap it and not play. It'd be the first time since 1994 since there would be no baseball. I know 1994 they had the players strike because of salary issues and because the owners were treating the players like poorly, and I know that the players were upset with that. But 1994 they had no baseball, and it would be the first time since then. And I know that there's a lot of players that played back then that said that they would like to see have it happen now and have like the baseball play, but at this point we might not have it. But that is the latest that I have for you on how baseball is going. For right now, I will not upload more videos on baseball unless it's like updates giving you guys what's going on with it. Most of the videos is just going to be about football right now, and where teams stand, what they're doing, etc., etc. Check out the previous videos that I've had. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I know that the next video that I'm going to be doing is on the AFC East division standings and on where the team stands in that, or the teams stand in that division, especially now that Tom Brady is gone from the New England Patriots. I think that having a step up, it's really going to be good. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Have a blessed day.